why self-love and self-care won't make you a better parent. Welcome to the show, guys. You know who I am. I'm Heather Chauvin. And in the series of This Is Easy and doing a podcast a day between Monday and Friday, I am here to help you to shift your mindset, to live more in alignment with how you want to feel so that you feel more successful as a parent, like you're not failing. You can balance the work-life balance. Your marriage is like thriving, and maybe your money, your time, your energy, and your health too. So I was talking to my husband tonight, and if you're not familiar, Dad is in Control. That's my husband. He's starting Dad is in Control. So just check out dadisincontrol.com, like the Facebook page, and there's also a Facebook group that men in your life are welcome to join. It's for men only. So what was I saying? So I was talking to him about this concept of self-love. So today's Valentine's Day, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not a history buff, but I'm pretty sure the history of this day is actually the complete opposite of love. And it was like this huge massacre or something back in the day. Clearly, don't quote me. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure it's the complete opposite. And it's something with St. Valentine and yada, yada, yada. But it's definitely, I know this for sure, the essence of it is not what it is today, of a whole bunch of sugar and candy and, just spread the love. And yes, I understand this, but the essence of it isn't what it is today. And I feel like it's the game of telephone where the message gets passed down and passed down and passed down, and then through the cultural voice and the cultural energy gets really mixed up, and then it comes out up the wazoo going, what have we created? So I wanted to talk about, because as I was scrolling through Facebook today, everyone's like, love yourself in the personal development world. Love yourself, self-care, self-love. That's what Valentine's Day is all about. Take care of you. Do something for you. And clearly, we all know this. So I mentioned this to my husband. I said, you know what? Screw this self-love. Screw this self-care. That's actually not going to make you a better parent. And he goes, Heather, what do you mean? This is exactly what you always preach. And I said, yes, but it's not the self-care that you're buying. It's the result. So let me give you an example. If I tell myself, oh, Heather, love yourself more. Take a shower today and brush your teeth. And some days it's a struggle. Get your hair done or go buy yourself an outfit. That actually takes a lot of effort for me to do. That's not natural for me. I'm a natural nurturer. I want to give, right? As most of us do with women, and, we're just habitually nurturers and want to take care of other people. So the self-love aspect is like completely counterintuitive. Love yourself more. And so, okay, let's just say I go get all dolled up, get my hair done, go to the spa, go for a walk. And I've talked about a podcast about this before of like, it's not about getting your hair and nails done. It's about self-respect, right? It's about boundaries. It's about all of these things that we can't see. Filling your cup up first, all of these things. So circling back around, today, Valentine's Day, let's just say it's the day of love or whatever you want to call it. It's not about giving to yourself. So this is a mindset shift, okay? Are you ready for this? It's about giving to others by giving to yourself. What is going to get me to set a boundary? First of all, let me put it this way. Exercise and eating, game changer. Every mental health, physical health, like advocate, doctor, healthcare practitioner, mental health therapist, whoever, should be praising from the rooftops that if you want to go on medication for anxiety, depression, panic, like anything, you should be changing your diet and exercising, like sweating on a daily basis. You should. Never in my life Never in my life did I ever have a physician or a therapist tell me that if I cut out sugar from my diet, I would actually decrease my anxiety. I had to figure this out from trial and error. And I didn't figure it out because I was taking up a self-care challenge. I figured this out because I had to give to myself to give to others. I noticed a correlation between my caffeine intake and how much I was yelling at my children. I noticed a correlation between consuming 1 glass of wine or 1 glass of alcohol and my depression levels the week after. And when I say depression, I mean I can go down a deep, dark path very quickly. So I don't not drink. I choose not to drink because I love myself. I choose not to drink because I love my children. And of course, we all love our children, and maybe you're like, oh, Heather, that's a punch in the face. And that's not what I mean. You can still live the lifestyle that you want to live. By giving to myself, I give to others. And that's why I say to you at the beginning of this podcast that screw this self-love revolution, because, then you have this mindset of I'm being greedy and I'm being selfish. And it's not about that. It's about you giving to yourself so you can give to others. So the truth is that I started this whole process, this whole personal development journey, because I looked at my son, and I only had one at the time, and I said, shit, I gotta show up. And slowly, very slowly, figured it out, one step at a time. And that was 13 years ago. And then today, realizing in order to lead my life and become the professional I want to become the parent I want to become, the wife, the sister, the friend, the human being, the humanitarian, the philanthropist, the whatever, I have to lead my life energetically to my highest standard. And I'm not even close. Some days I fall off, some habits. It took me years to stop drinking, and I didn't drink chronically. But this is the first year, at the beginning of the year, I declared I will not drink in 2018. And because it was the beginning of the year, I was kind of able to, log my drinking. And there's been multiple times where I've been in a situation and I've just chosen not to, because I want to keep my body at a high vibrational level, not for myself, not because I know drinking causes inflammation, and inflammation in your body can cause disease. And, I did have a inflammatory disease, and that's what cancer is. No, it had nothing to do with my fear of getting sick again, which I don't have that fear. It had all to do is because I look at my children and I said, who do I become when I drink? Even if it's 1 glass, I am a freaking disaster. Like for a whole week, it takes me a whole week to recover. So I don't do it for myself. I do it for them. And yes, there's grieving process, there's lifestyle shifts. And this goes with food too. If you have friends that eat shit all the time and then you hang out with them and they food shame you, sometimes you have to create new friendships because you have to find people that are in alignment with how you want to feel in your life. So this isn't about, if I make it about me, it's really actually hard to create those changes. But if I make these changes about somebody else, it's so much easier. So I'm not a huge fan of this self-care, self-love revolution because it feels very selfish when I think of it from that perspective. And I need to think of people outside of myself. And this goes to, I remember us having this conversation with a client and I said, you want to make more money in your business? And she said, yes. And she was really struggling with abundance and her mindset was off and her energy was off. And I said, you need to start running. Get on that freaking treadmill every single day. And I remember it was like a week later and she goes, oh my God, Heather, I ran on my treadmill every single day this week and I got a new client. And I said, do you think this is a coincidence? And she said, no, because my anxiety has been lower. I've been more stable and I've had more energy. And so if I tell you, stop drinking and your marriage will improve. Stop drinking and you will yell less. If I tell you, sweat every single day and you will no longer you won't wake up in the middle of the night, or, your debt ratio will improve. What if I told you these things, right? We have to realize that taking care of ourselves, giving to ourselves goes out into the world. Out into the world. Have you ever had an interaction with somebody and, it could be someone maybe at a coffee shop and you're just going to buy a drink and you leave feeling really, really good. Like the person's like, hey, how are you today? And you could have kind of been in a bad mood and you're like, oh, I'm okay. And, and then they still, keep going and having that conversation with you. And they kind of leave you with this like different feeling. And you're like, wow, I feel really good about myself. Why do you think that is? Because that person's energy rubbed off on you. Now imagine you as a person became that person. You started rubbing off on other people. How do you think your children will respond to you differently if you are in a more energetic, high vibrational state? How do you think your children will respond to you when they have children someday? How do you think your partner will respond to you? Employees, your boss, your neighbor, your friend, whoever. If you are energetically in a more high vibrational state, everything changes. Your money, your mindset, your time, your energy, your health, your relationship, everything. So screw the self-care. Screw it. Screw this self-love. Just stop thinking about it, because we get too in our heads and we start going, oh my gosh, I'm being so selfish and it's all about me. And, when I try to create that space for myself, my husband makes this comment or my mom makes that comment. Screw that. Do it for them. In your mind, they don't need to understand why you're doing something, but in your mind, just visualize yourself taking that action that you feel guilty for taking and going, I'm going to be a better person on the other side of this. It's not about you, it's about them. And this is how we lead our lives in a different state of being. So hopefully that was a little mindset shift for you, an aha moment. And happy Valentine's Day, or happy day of whatever day this is. And spread love, be light, and on you go. If you guys are interested, the Mom is in Control Mastery, we're taking applications till the end of the month, and the URL has changed. So it's momisincontrol.com/mastery. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Thank you so much for being you. And remember, the most unselfish thing you can ever do is give love and be love.